Hi everyone, I'm Seth. It's good to see all of you out here today. I'm here to talk to you all about the power of your social network and how you can be resourceful to get what you want. Who in this audience has friends? Okay. Who in this audience has ever thought of owning a business? Who here has ever wanted to do something but couldn't because of some sort of constraint? See, I first came across this thought when I was asking my friend's dad, who happens to be an economist, on how I could help people in third world countries. I told him I didn't have much money to donate, so what could I do in my capacity to help them? He gave me a fantastic idea. He asked me about my friends and what each of them were studying. I rounded the list, and I could come up with a friend in almost every business-related industry. Then he told me how there are so many people in the world that have businesses that don't excel the way they really should, because people just can't afford certain services these days. He told me that there are so many workers with sound business plans that can't move forward because they lack things like legal services or simply web development. If we could all somehow lend our services to each other, it would solve this problem. The example my friend's dad gave me was of the cottage industry in Pakistan. People who make arts and crafts were struggling with their businesses because they didn't have any resources. So people saw this and decided to pool their resources and offered some pro bono work and helped them with web development and import and export information. And now the business of arts and crafts is booming in Pakistan. He told me that a bit of pro bono work could go a long way. Simply put, it's the best donation ever. Now this story struck me and I was immediately fascinated by the idea of using the services of your friends who are all in different professions. I live in a student house of 5 guys that go to university, and each one of us is in a different industry. Personally, we have a scientist, an engineer, a lawyer, a politician, and an economist. Now, if you think about it, my house has the potential to join together, collaborate, and create something truly amazing. The point I'm trying to make here is that I feel that sometimes we don't think we have this much power. We undermine it consistently. So now that we know how lending each other our services can go a long way, it is important to think about the power of having friends, being resourceful, and networking. Your network can be the difference between you becoming a CEO or you becoming unemployed. Someone who really acknowledges the power of networking is billionaire Reid Hoffman, founder and creator of LinkedIn. And he says that talking to people is the first step to building a network of services through people you know. The most valuable professional information is often in other people's heads. People can offer advice, people can solve problems, and people know things that aren't on Google yet. See, the competitive advantage of gathering information and insight from people, is so important. It is what billionaire Reid Hoffman calls network intelligence. Think about it. If there are 5 people working for you, and each person knows 10 other professionals that they can seek help or advice from, your network is actually 50 contacts that have a potential in helping you. That's huge. Network intelligence can take you places. Imagine you are a CEO and every employee of yours interacts with professionals in the business, internally and externally. Together, your organization would grow tenfold, just with the power of gathering information, seeking insights, and spreading out. Every employee would know more, grow more, and strengthen their relationships. Many people make networking sound like something it really isn't. Networking is not as daunting as it might appear to be, and now we know how vital it is to your success. It's important to clear up some misconceptions. According to Fast Company, a database website of trending innovative stories, there are 5 misconceptions about networking. Number 1, assuming you have to network like everyone else. What that's saying is that you should network the way you deem most effective. Number 2, taking a one-and-done approach, which is saying that building networks and relationships takes time, simply put. Number 3, not understanding the value you add, so you should know your talents. Number 4, not being clear about what you need, be specific and not too vague. And lastly, the last misconception is not being deliberate, which means that you should be open-minded and you shouldn't be afraid of change. Have any of you heard about Ann Baker? Now she is a true networking success story. She became a diplomat and entered the world of politics through a reference of an old colleague she worked with years back. She went from working in software all the way to Capitol Hill because she wanted a change of career. To quote her, having a network doesn't mean that you have to spend evenings out doing cocktails and schmoozing. It can be as simple as staying in touch with friends from past jobs. You never know when your old office mate could be your biggest champion. With that being said, thank you for listening. Remember, this day and age is not about what you know, it's about who you know. I hope you enjoyed my TED Talk today. It was a pleasure speaking with all of you. Remember, network, network, and network. Thank you. How was that? 5 minutes.